Is a simple ag question. Teresa Greenfield, you answer first. What's the break-even price for a bushel of corn in Iowa this week?
Well, a bushel of corn is going for about $3.68 today, $3.69, and break even really just depends on the amount of debt someone has. I suspect there's farmers that are breaking even at that price. However, if their yields are down 50%, that's certainly not going to cover it for them. I'll tell you, we've had low commodity prices for too long, and they've been going out of business prices.
Senator, break-even price for soybeans for an Iowa farmer to produce.
Yeah, certainly. I would like to go back to previous statement. Certainly, with what we have done on trade, we have seen significant strides forward. So the USMCA is a great example of that with our two largest trade partners, Mexico and Canada. Mexico is the #1 purchaser of Iowa corn. We just saw with the China Phase 1 trade deal where China actually made an all-time record corn purchase at the end of July. So haphazard trade deals? No. I think we are on the path towards success in these areas. And I have had our farmers, as I do the 99 county tour every year. I've been to all of my rural communities every single year that I have been in the United States Senate. I have had those farmers say, for heaven's sakes, I understand what the president is doing. What I don't understand is why we didn't have a president that stood up for us before this. So I am thankful that we are well on our way to correcting the situation within our trade space, and that was done with a Republican Senate and a Republican in the White House.
Well, thank you very much. I might have missed it, but I don't think you answered my question. What's the break-even price for soybeans in Iowa? You grew up on a farm. You should know this.
I think you had asked about corn, and it depends on.
I asked her corn.
It depends on what the inputs are, but probably about $5.50.
Well, you're a couple dollars off, I think, here because it's 10:05. So, well, we'll move on to something else then.
And I don't think Ms. Greenfield answered either.
She actually did with the price of corn. We'd asked for the price of soybeans from you, Senator. You want to take another crack at it?
No, thank you. You said the break even for corn is $10.50. I don't think that's correct.
Right, that would have been for beans. Ron's question was soybeans
or maybe
to you,
I'm not
Ms.
hearing.
Greenfield, to corn to Ms. Greenfield. Let's go ahead and move on to a completely different subject.
Now, my caveat here is that I didn't know this either, but then I'm not running to represent Iowa in the United States Senate. And the one thing that you should know if you are running for statewide office in Iowa is the price of crops. This is a rural state whose citizens' livelihoods depend on this to survive. And the fact that Joni Ernst, the incumbent Republican senator, has no clue goes to show just how out of touch she is with her own constituents. But it also shows how well prepared Democratic candidate Teresa Greenfield was. She not only knew the price of a bushel of corn, but she knew it down to the penny. She also laid out the market dynamics, yields, and the implications of indebtedness. And her preparedness hasn't gone unnoticed. Greenfield is leading in every single poll coming out of Iowa. And Iowa is no liberal bastion. Ernst won her last Senate race by nearly 10 points in 2014, and Trump won Iowa in 2016 by 10 points as well. So the fact that Greenfield is winning now is a testament to how much stronger of a candidate she is, and she put that on full display again at this debate. I do want to mention my favorite part of this clip is that Ernst pulled out the old, "oh, my mic cut out." But here's the thing, even if that was a valid excuse and she thought she was being asked the price of corn, she'd have still gotten it wrong. The price of a bushel of corn, which Teresa Greenfield answered correctly, is $3.68. Ernst said it was $5.50. Also, of course the moderators didn't ask both of them for the price of corn. Why would they ask Ernst the same question they just asked Teresa Greenfield that she answered correctly? On what planet would that make sense? So it doesn't matter if her mic did cut out or she was going through a tunnel or whatever other excuse she cooked up. The point is that she got it wrong. And the fact that she opted to misinterpret the truth about it goes to show that not only is she incompetent, but she's a liar as well. But most ironic is what Ernst pivots to when she realizes she doesn't know the answer to this question, and that is defending Donald Trump. She goes off on some tangent about the USMCA and Trump's trade deals and how thank God he was sent down to us from the heavens to negotiate soybean prices. But this is what Republicans do. They made the decision a long time ago that their entire identity would be wrapped up in Trump and only Trump. The GOP literally doesn't have a party platform this year because they just opted to stand behind whatever fleeting thought left Donald Trump's lips that day. And so instead of answering a straightforward agriculture question about the price of a cash crop, All Joni Ernst could do is brag about Trump, because the Republican Party is nothing more than a cult of personality. And by the way, even her kowtowing to Trump here was misguided. She carries on about how, thanks to Trump, China made their biggest ever purchase of soybeans in July. Only the reason that purchase was so big was that thanks to Trump's trade war, China had been buying practically no soybeans for months. China had been the world's top importer of US soybeans, and during Trump's trade war, sales to China plummeted 74% to a 16-year low. So if you're gonna credit Trump for solving a problem, you might want to add who caused that problem in the first place. The fact is that Joni Ernst is so busy defending Trump that she doesn't even know the most basic facts about her own state. But we don't need any more Trump acolytes running cover for a president who has failed this country on every level imaginable, from his trade wars to his pandemic response to healthcare and everything in between. Iowa deserves a senator who's not only not an apologist for a wannabe despot, but who knows what's happening in her own state. If you like this video, please check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I take a deep dive into the week's most important stories and interview major players in politics, including Kamala Harris, Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Eric Swalwell, Mary Trump, Al Franken, Cory Booker, and many, many more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts.